welcome to the Castlevania Season 4 Spoilercast. From GigaBoots, I'm joined by the usual crew. I got Bob from GigaBoots. Casey Excellent from CaseyExcellent.com.
Oh no, I look just like Belmont. I'm gonna go kill myself.
And Mr. Phil from Mr. Whatever.
Hello, I'm a character in this. I will now wear the armor of Artorias for one scene.
But it's very cool.
We start talking in our normal voices, and all the people who are new to this podcast network just go, oh, fuck this. That's how they sound?
They're like, I can't recognize them now because they aren't announcing their names with these new voices.
Tragic. Hi, welcome. We're going to talk about Castlevania, the Netflix, Season 4. We're going to talk about our feelings about it, etc., etc. We might do sounds at the beginning. I don't know if we'll do scores at the end. Let's see how we feel.
Right. We didn't score the last one. I guess that we weren't doing scores yet back then.
Well, maybe we would have scored the last one if I didn't get a virus similar to COVID. I had to step out. I still believe we need a GigaBoots wiki just so it can have the same entry style as the 13 Sentinels.
Yeah, I know. When I heard you say that on a stream, I was gone. I immediately knew.
You go into the GigaBoots Codex and it's like COVID-19, the next entry, the illness Dan got.
The illness similar to. Anyway, I guess we'll go ahead and start with some quick summaries, followed by our sounds that are supposed to represent how we feel. And we'll get into discussing the nitpicks and whatnot. And we'll start this section with Mr. Feel.
Castlevania Season 4 fixed a lot of stuff that I hated in Castlevania Season 3. It was much better. I still have a couple problems, but they're quibbling. And I'm sure we'll discuss them during this. So I'll give it a...
Okay. We'll go to Bob.
Castlevania the 4.
Quattro of Sorrow.
Unlike the last two seasons, isn't about random war consoles and seems to be an action cartoon show that's fun. I know, crazy.
Yeah, it's really incredible.
I'm gonna give it a ooh.
Okay, KZ.
Castlevania the 4 seemed pretty solid. Was very much enjoying my time. And I was only halfway through, and then, wow. I'm going to give it a
Okay, and Castlevania, the Netflix Season 4 is very good show. The action and stuff. And you can understand some of the characters, but...
Who are you again?
Lots of good action on the screen. So let's get into it. You know what I really like about Castlevania Netflix Season 4?
Huh.
There is like one action set piece per episode at a bare minimum.
It's kind of insane.
As soon as I realized that, I was like, oh, they're really correcting from people shitting on Season 3, huh?
I think this was completely nuts because every moment I expected the money to drop out and for it to be like, and we will now spend the next 6 episodes in a basement.
Yeah,
Dan, I'm with you. I am absolutely with you on that because I thoroughly enjoyed Season 3. But when they start this season with, here's a bunch of fight scenes over and over and over again with Trevor and Sypha, I was like, oh man, I sure hope you didn't front load this.
Yeah, because the last 2 seasons have done that. Episode 1 has an action scene, and then there's nothing for 8 episodes, and then there's an action scene.
and then it turns out the first episode is baby shit.
Yeah.
Compared to some of the shit later where I'm like, what? This is the best shit I've seen in a while in terms of action animation. What are you doing?
Yeah, I feel like this really accomplished what they sort of set out to do with the series, or at least what I idealized as like a Castlevania series, right?
Yeah. This is like the I forget the term, like the purest form of what the Castlevania show should be.
Right.
Like season 1 kind of felt like this. This is what I expected going
this
forward.
feels like the show that season 1 promised.
Right.
Right.
That's what the pitch was. And
Right.
then we got 2 seasons of nonsense.
And here's the thing though, like that's basically the promise at the end of season 1 once you have a cast.
Mm-hmm.
You know, this cast is so much larger than season 1 just because we have all these plot threads and all these other things. So this is so much better than a Trevor Belmont show could have been, just because we have all these characters doing different things in different locations that have different importance and interesting hooks into lore and the events elsewhere. Like this thing's operating on a lot of cylinders.
Like 5 perspectives.
Right.
Like it keeps bouncing around.
And they seem well fleshed out.
Yeah, none of them are just like, man, that shouldn't have been here. They even tried to they fixed a lot of the vampire consoles from last season. Like they gave them anything.
They gave them different perspectives.
Yes. Instead of, that's where we go to sit in a room and talk about what we're going to do next season.
We really like Game of Thrones.
I still haven't seen Game of Thrones, so I can make no comparisons whatsoever.
I still haven't seen Game of Thrones.
Oh, I keep hearing people compare this to Game of Thrones, and I'm just gonna have to trust them on this.
And I'm like, is Game of Thrones just a show where people die? There's a penis, I guess, and
is there a double fuck scene in Game of Thrones? Is there a double fuck betrayal scene in Game of Thrones like there was in season 3?
Well,
Probably.
Game of Thrones is on HBO, so yes.
Yes, but is it 2 sex scenes at once that are both betrayals? That's
Probably,
the real
it's
question.
HBO.
Is there a cursed cock ring also in Game of Thrones?
Probably. It's probably dragon related, though. I think that's going to be the main difference.
Oh, okay.
That's completely different.
My main concern and hope was, because they said it was the final season, I'm like, uh-oh. Well, if it's the last one, and you spent the entirety of the last season setting up confrontations, this should be the point where all the characters get a finale of some sort and a lot of fights, and I feel satisfied. And thank God they did that.
Yeah, they did that really well. I like that the arc for Alucard in the last season that's kind of bad just changes entirely this season.
It feels like it got deleted.
Yes.
That's
Like the arc he has in this is like the sane arc you do with Alucard is lonely instead of that shit they did last season.
Yeah, of all the things they did last season, I was fine. I'm like, okay, that with this together works. Alucard's doesn't. Like you could have just not shown him at all last season and just brought him back here and it would have been fine.
Absolutely, but last season shouldn't have taken the whole season to do that arc because it's very one note. It's very one note all of season 3. I appreciate this direction. And I really like his involvement. I think the one plot thing that I'm not even disappointed or upset. I just thought it was funny. The entire arc of Targovishta is, this place sucks. Let's leave.
You guys,
They
like,
fixed
hey,
it a little bit first, but yes.
let's use the warp to go to the final level.
Yes.
Again.
It's so good. It made me laugh so hard when they were just we should go. It's just going to seal if we don't. So bye, shit town.
I was so worried, Dan, because they were doing this fight again. They were fighting the sub bosses.
Yes,
that they kept throwing us back to the two shitty vampires, and I'm like, are they really just gonna have fucking Trevor and Sypha deal with the second string guys? How are they gonna be relevant in this last thing? And then they revealed the giant teleporting mirror.
See,
and I went, holy shit, this fucking rules.
I assumed the war vampire attacking the village and the amount of time it would take for him to start attacking the castle and a final confrontation scene would take so long timeline-wise that there would have been a time jump for Sypha and Trevor to get to Dracula's castle. This is what I expected. And then we get to the second to last episode, and I'm like, they're still in Targovishta. Are we ending this episode with... And then the portal opens, and I'm like, we're just going.
I got so excited when I realized, oh shit, there isn't one episode left, there's 2.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's true. Yeah, that was the third to last episode that did that at the very end. That's totally
Yeah, like
yeah.
the fucking second to last episode opens with the insane opening action team up scene.
Yes, and it was really good, except for the music, which was the opening theme, and I'm like, this really doesn't work here.
Yeah, that was bizarre. It's like, dude,
This
your
works
opening theme isn't good or hype.
It's not good or hype. So
I don't know. I liked that because I like the opening theme, and it fits because it's the main characters.
Well, I get that the concept of playing your opening theme fits because it's the main characters, but I don't think the song's a very good action song or a very good song on its own merits, but that's why it wasn't firing me for me. But that opening combat scene, like all of the action in this is pretty good. I think there's not a single action sequence in this season that falls below season 3's.
Yeah, no, every single one seems way better than season 3 or 2.
And it's funny because you were saying, Bob, that like countless artists you follow on Twitter were just like, I helped with this season.
Yeah, no, a ton of animators that I follow and just other ones I saw retweeted from or that I never saw come out for the last 2 seasons.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I'll bet if you look at this. Oof.
They had money.
Yeah.
It was weird.
It was great. It was like, oh, wow. These fight scenes look cool unlike the other ones.
It's like we got some sort of very bizarre action series about following this large cast of characters we like. Also, the funniest trope in Castlevania the Netflix is Isaac putting lime in water, and I'm just like, he's just this last episode he's just like, hey, what's up, I'm gonna do that right now as we talk about how I totally killed Camilla and that's cool and shit. And I'm like,
man, God, he sure fucking didn't he?
I'm like, did you bring those limes, or do they also have limes in this castle? Does everyone have limes? I just
the portal's
need to
still
know.
open, okay, Dan? They just keep going back and forth. You got his lime farm over there.
Oh my god, that would be unreal. He's like, I helped rebuild the city and planted limes. I go, oh shit, I didn't realize that.
Gotta talk to my bug man again.
Yes, I was shocked when they brought back Bugman, because he only gets one scene in season 3.
Yeah, he
I thought
disappears.
Bugman had a good scene last season.
Yeah, he did.
Right, he's one of the few good things from last season. He disappeared after that scene.
I think Isaac throughout the last season is some of the best stuff for sure.
Oh yeah.
So
sure.
it's good that Bugman didn't just disappear forever this season. He came back and I was like, oh, this is great. Is this season really fucking good? What?
Yeah, I've loved his arc the throughout all the seasons. I've enjoyed how he's been built up and how he kind of ended up.
Isaac was like the VP last season, the VIP last season, and he's still, like, for me, he's still the best character, which is pretty impressive, considering that originally he was Liam O'Brien flouncing around as a man in BDSM gear.
I feel like they could have kept some of that.
They did keep his special demon.
They did.
That's true. I pointed it out the second it showed up on screen. I was like, oh, I fucking love Castlevania.
God damn it.
I did that then, and I did that when Trevor's just going through random shit, and he's like, oh, it's the cross weapon.
Yes.
I was like that with the demon. The fucking big white one that they use is like the main like break into the castle demon. I'm like, oh, he's gonna do the beam. Why is the beam red fire? That you did it wrong.
Yeah, I was like, they were afraid of doing the laser beam. They were afraid of it.
It was too cool.
Meanwhile, I was just afraid of trading in his soul for a better sword.
Their fear.
I lost it. I was like, oh shit, do they really have him? This is great. I didn't expect that demon to show up. That's so good.
Mm-hmm. Remember the crab demons attacked that village?
Yes, I was like, an Order of Ecclesia reference. Because it's crab battle.
Yeah, that was
God.
Very funny.
Yeah,
I think Isaac's too good, honestly.
Yeah.
When I was watching his big fight against Camila, and I went, is he just gonna take no damage? He basically no hits that bitch, and it's insane.
I love that. It's like she gets nothing. She gets no satisfaction whatsoever. Fuck her.
It really is the most well animated jobbing I've seen in years.
I'm so happy because the one thing I wanted was for Isaac to just be like, no, I am the manager. And that's what he did.
Oh man, that's hilarious. Worth noting now, before I forget to bring it up, they didn't have Grant Dynasty, but they had Greta from Dynasty.
Yeah, I pointed that out. It was like, is that really what they're doing?
I didn't get that.
I was like, you fucking serious?
But she doesn't use a knife, which is surprising.
That is surprising. She's also a well fleshed out character, which is, there are a lot of those this season. Varney's perfect. Let me go ahead and start with that.
I am so happy to say,
Yes.
I'm so happy Varney was here.
Yes.
If you don't know, Varney is he's from a gothic serialized horror story.
What?
Like the mid yeah.
Yeah.
It's called Varney the Vampire. It was like 1850s. It created like almost every major vampire cliche, like the sharp teeth, I think the garlic, like everything.
It's just this unreal level of perfect. It like, I've only seen choice pieces of Transmetropolitan, but that character is just straight up that level of a piece of shit.
He's very Warren Ellis.
Yes.
Did anybody else think that like we reached the peak of characters cursing in this season?
Well, Sifa starts doing it, so
it seemed like every time someone got mad, more so than even the first 3 seasons, but every time somebody got mad, they like almost turned into James Rolfe.
Yes, I noticed that, and I was like, this is kind of
specifically funny. Like when Camilla's about to die.
Yes.
Like her like she almost goes into a James Rolfe-esque tirade.
I want that edit really bad.
She's just pounding a steering wheel. And she's like, night creatures! All these night creatures! What the fuck is it about night creatures?
I'd also be mad if I didn't get a single hit on one guy.
Yeah. I think she may have gotten one.
Yeah, I feel like she scratched him.
Just once. That was it.
I feel I feel like she did more dying than she did in that entire fight, and she still basically did nothing dying.
And they're trying to sell her real good beforehand of just, making the arena out of creatures she killed. Mm-hmm. I really like the first person shot they do of a night creature getting owned by her. I thought that shot was really good.
That one was good. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. And then Isaac shows up as he's walking up the bloody staircase like the true final boss battle is about to begin.
Mm-hmm. No,
I really liked that fight. Even if a couple scenes of it, only a couple, and it didn't really take me out of it. But it was like Isaac's not moving across this like CG background he's on as fast as he should be.
Yeah,
as fast as his walking animation is.
It didn't really track in 3D all that well, but it was still neat. Conceptually,
it was real cool.
And as I said, like, no sequence in this hits as low as last season's sequences. So overall, I was really impressed. I played Curse of Darkness back in the day, and everything was fine. And then one day, I watched a series called JoJo's, and then fucking Isaac's Demon shows up, and I'm like, that's a stand.
Yeah.
And I hate
that happens sometimes.
God damn it. Well, yeah, somehow it was less painful of an experience than when I went back and played Dawn of Sorrow, and I'm like, this guy's just Dio. He stops time and throws daggers. He's in front of a clock tower. This is ridiculous.
Look, Iga has some preferences.
Yeah, he does.
Now get the stone mask.
Yes, get the stone mask. God, how many does that show up in? I know it's at least 1 or 2. The stone mask accessory.
Yeah, I'm like, it's definitely in Symphony and Bloodstained. I feel like it's at least 1 other too.
Yeah, I think that's right.
So many people have phones in this, or the equivalent of phones.
I thought that was really funny.
And every single time they're talking to Varney, it's the worst.
It's so good.
And they're all, go fuck yourself. Varney's like, fuck you too, and then fucking close. Make sure no one can call me on this again.
It's so good. You have something more important than resurrecting Dracula? To me, yes. Mira, never accept calls from this number ever again.
He really is the manager.
It's so good. Yeah, no, it's fantastic. There really wasn't a bad scene with Varney. But when they opened that episode with Varney talking to the other guy, which I regret that I cannot remember the name of.
The Russian vampire?
Yes.
Yeah, I can't remember his name either.
He's strong. He knows what war is like.
Yes. That dialogue is so fucking good. That is so fucking enjoyable. I mean, you get the very first scene with Varney. He's like, don't they know who the fuck I am? And as someone written
said that 18 more times.
Yes, as someone written into season 4, that is the funniest fucking opening you could possibly write for a character.
That every anime that's like, yeah, I'm the other classmate that no one ever talked about. But I was quite important. And this one is the biggest just shitbird version of that.
Yes.
And then he gets owned by exhausted Trevor.
I laughed.
Do you think that they felt bad for having Trevor do basically nothing against Dracula in season 2? So they're like, let's give him something.
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
100%.
Like, they're like, well, Alucard used the Kaioken and had an extended fight with his dad, who was also using Kaioken. Trevor kind of didn't do anything. I guess we better give him something.
Yeah.
Which is really messed up because it's like the whole series is supposed to be about
Trevor
Belmont fighting Dracula throughout history.
Yeah, it was
they clearly wanted Alucard to fight Dracula because they're like, we could see the familial connection here. But this is like the Trevor show. We should really like give him something. So let's give him the big huge final boss.
It's and then Roll walks up to Dr. Wily. She's like, I'm gonna finish this, Wily. And Mega Man just sits over there going,
I am more than just a robot.
She says, pulling out a gun. She's like, it's time to clean up house, and shoots him to death.
Yeah, she doesn't need any modification to become Mega Roll or anything. She has a gun.
She has a sawed-off shotgun just hiding in her skirt or something. It's strapped to her leg.
All she needs to do is dodge one attack, and she will suddenly begin her winning segment.
But yeah, no, season 4 seems like it's very, very clued into everything about the feedback of every prior season, and it does really well to deliver on all of it. I mean, you even get the scenes between the two non-Carmilla, non-Lenore vampires, the vampiresses I can't remember the name of, where they have the dialogue where it's just like, this is insane, right? Like, this is the rest of our lives. This bullshit.
Yeah, I could probably do it. If, whatever,
Like, I could do it.
I like how that whole scene was like, wait, are they literally just intense? They're vampires. This seems really unsafe. And then they immediately
that was the exact. That is a perfectly paced scene because I realized that 4 seconds before an arrow goes through the tent. And also just with the context of we're killing ourselves doing a fraction of this of a region that Carmilla wants us to get. Meanwhile, she's up in the castle going, no, I want the world now. You left me alone too long to think about things because I'm fucking stupid and insane.
Yes.
Like, yeah, this is not going to work out.
I think it's... one thing about this season that I thought was really funny is that Hector spent all of season 3 basically being a pitiful cuck.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And in this one, like, he's almost domesticated Lenore. Almost immediately.
Yeah.
She's like doing the blushing schoolgirl thing when he says anything. It's very funny.
She's so overconfident and whatever because he's been domesticated. He's got the ring on, but also she has become useless.
It feels so much like season 3 was useless. Like everything gets negated so quickly.
It's like season 3 is the first draft, and the season 4 is the second, where it's like, why are all these characters just going along with this?
Right? Like the whole last season was them talking about this plan that made no sense. So then we get to them doing the plan. I was like, wait, this doesn't work.
Season 3 is a quartet version of I Can't Wait to Be King, right? And then season 4 is like, oh shit, my dad Mufasa died.
Yeah, I don't really feel like it was useless. I feel like I would care less about this season had the other season hadn't existed, because it was building toward this for me. Except for the Alucard stuff, you could have cut that part. Didn't really need that.
Yeah,
Really,
no, the
everything-
Alucard arc is absolutely terrible, but
You could accomplish everything under 5 episodes. It's necessary.
oh,
yeah,
oh,
it
yeah.
should have
Oh,
been.
yeah.
It should
Like,
have been
if-
4 episodes like season 1.
Yeah, like if last season was them fleshing out Isaac more and giving him a reason to fight that wizard at the end, and if the season was mostly Isaac, and then we had little bits of this other stuff, that probably would have worked better.
Yeah, I actually, go ahead, KZ.
You reminded me of the scene in season 4 where Isaac is bragging to a statue of the dude he killed about how cool it was that he killed him.
That's good. Isaac is good.
What I was going to say is, since I was missing on the Castlevania season 3 spoiler cast, I would like to say, I feel like Isaac's stuff really strong. Alucard stuff can be thrown away, and everyone else feels a little padded because they have so much Isaac stuff that they had ideas for, until the end where they're like, we need to give Isaac like a mini boss so that way he feels like he's wrapping up around the same time for a season ending like these other arcs. Because there's not a whole lot of progression with the vampiresses and Hector. There's not a whole lot of progression with, like, there's a lot of padding with Sif.
Like
Sif and Trevor, where it's just like, these runes have been carved onto these houses. Let's talk about this for a week.
you think anything bad's gonna happen? No.
No way.
This season's rune stuff was much faster.
I'm the competent authority figure. It turns out I murder kids and might be a pedophile. That's something they threw in that for literally no reason, just to make it grittier.
Yes, it definitely came across as that. And yeah, I feel like this season is insanely well paced, and you have interesting stories for everyone. Also, holy shit, that fucking vampire armor so she can fight in the daylight is the coolest shit.
Day armor. Jesus Christ.
So good.
I heard something that about the people behind Castlevania specifically are also the ones pushing for Netflix to do a Berserk thing, and I'm like, yeah, I see why.
Yeah, what
I
was
see
it?
why
Yeah.
with that day armor.
They hit a reference to Devil May Cry in the background of one of the shots. The people who were working on this are also working on that, as I
Yeah.
understand it. So that's pretty cool.
There was rumors that it was going to tie in, like, story-wise into this. I don't know if that'll come true. I don't know if
That's too brave. It's two different game
That would be
publishers.
really
Right.
brave.
It
That
would-
would be really brave. I wish they would do it.
That's some Captain N shit.
right. Like, I think it'd be cool. I think those two universes could exist together, but
Yes.
it'd be very
I think they could, and if-
unexpected.
Mhm.
And I would shit my pants if at E3 this year we see Capcom X Konami and then that crossover. Being
That-
made by Capcom, of course.
Yes, that would be, because who would make it at Konami?
Right.
RE engine pops up and I clap.
Yep, that's what I do. That's one of the most impressive engines in gaming right now.
Yeah, I know.
Was anybody else surprised? This is jumping forward a little bit that that Hector cutting his finger off just works to get rid of that ring.
I mean,
yeah,
I was like, wow, that seems like a really easily solved problem. How did you think this was going to keep him on the leash? Like, he can't betray you because he's really attached to one ring finger?
Every person in the room I was watching it in lit up with conversation as soon as that happened.
yeah. As that happened, I went, that just. Okay, that kind of makes sense. Lenore knows exactly who this guy is. Kind of a loser, so he would clearly never do this.
I took it as it was the magic knife that let him do that.
Because the magic knife does a lot of things.
Yeah, the magic
like at the
knife
end of
is-
season 3 when it pries
God.
off the crown of thorns that makes him a mind slave.
And it lets him, like, just open up that fence that Hector made.
Yeah.
Like, it seems
maybe,
just-
maybe
yeah.
it was the
MacGuffin
magic
knife.
knife.
Yeah.
Okay.
Chekhov's knife. I don't know.
Now, that's if that was the case, then technically Hector's hammer should have the same power because it's the same sort of magic.
now that
But crushing your fingers is a little bit rougher than cutting it off.
It's
Just a little
it's
bit.
like heavy rain. He has to smash his finger off with
Also-
the hammer.
Bob, I don't know if that'll work because now the ring is more embedded inside.
You'll get through eventually, Casey.
That's fair, Bob. Thank you for that mental image. Now that I think about it, Castlevania Season 2 should have ended the same way Wizards does.
Yes.
No.
And that's all I'm going to say, and I'm just going to move along.
Okay, good. That's a wonderful idea you have there.
I think it's interesting that we get to Season 4, and that's when Trevor's like, all right, I know things about stuff. I'm now going to talk about it. It's like, oh.
That comes up in season 2 as well. Because they're going around
But he's in the library.
Yeah, he's in the library.
It's like, it functionally makes sense there a little bit because he's literally looking at books about it.
Uh-huh.
And here it's like practical in the field knowledge working.
But they're also technically in a lore room, because isn't that when they're in the underground where it has all the treasure and random weapons that they're just there?
Yes. But
anytime there's like old shit that is related to him, it's like, please let me pull up my wiki.
You can see his eyes glaze over. Actually, no, you can't, because that's his expression always.
Yes, and that's a very good quality.
I really appreciate countless things about this season. It's hard to criticize, even from my perspective. Obviously, some things could have been more fluidly animated, like the CG background in the blood room battle with Carmilla and compositing 2D elements onto that. But by and large, very thrilled with this season. All sorts of delightful characters, especially Varney. And yeah, I even the conclusion felt really good. Like they did well to viewers. I do think Trevor being fine is insane, and the post credits thing of Dracula and Lisa being fine is even more insane.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm like, what? I mean, whatever. I'll allow it.
That was definitely
I'll allow it, but
surprising
Jesus
to me.
Christ. Yeah,
They're
but
like, whatever, we're gonna go take a siesta now wherever we want to go.
siesta.
I do think it's pretty funny that we got two identical scenes like that, one after the other. We got them being fine, and then the lesbian vampires doing the same thing.
We're here. Our reservations should be under Lisa and El Tepish.
Yes. But that just, like, yeah, nobody knows what's going on with this. Don't worry about it. That post credits thing is what happens when you get 100% map completion.
Yes,
and it's the only way you're allowed to see that specific scene.
You have to wear both of the bracelets, get 100% of the souls, 100% of the map. Gotta make sure to not accidentally kill the jobber and become the Dark Lord. Don't accidentally I'm the Dark Lord.
Yeah. What I like about season 3, because it immediately hit me in one of the plot lines here, is in season 3 when Saint Germain has to yell all of this bullshit to bring back Vlad Tepes of all fucking people.
Yes.
And then his entire plot in this is that he has to do that.
Yes.
And it's even more deranged than that one.
And it's really good because they motivate him as a simp and obviously being used by what is obviously death.
No, that could have been anybody.
No, that was obviously death.
Yes.
Barney didn't guess that one.
Yeah, no, that was a really good payoff.
I didn't guess it either time.
Oh, yeah, no. When it's just like, hi, don't you know that death is the important part of alchemy? I'm like, you are already glowing with blue evil sigils?
Yeah.
I already was assuming you're death, but now you're doing this speech, you are absolutely death.
It's like, I played Curse of Darkness. I know who Saint Germain talks to.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, I didn't pick up on Varney because I knew that Varney is like a famous vampire character already.
Yeah.
But the alchemist, I'm like, you're fucking death. Shut up.
Shut the fuck up.
Yeah, no, I think that the Varney reveal is really good because there's so many things leading up to, like, no, he just gets talked down to constantly.
Yeah, I mean, the scene leading up to it, he's even like, suave. That's not a very big word.
Oh, yeah, that entire segment where it's like, I also want to be important. And I'm like, yeah, how are you going to matter here at all? Why are you still alive?
He had a real energy of local business owner in Florida. I don't know. He's just like, I too am very intelligent. I'm going to misuse big words.
Yes.
I really like that he's like,
100%.
well, you're very clever, so I had to use a big word so you'd know that I'm very clever as well. Another reason I didn't suspect Varney is because Castlevania loves having shitty secondary vampires who seem like they're the antagonist, and then Dracula steps in at the last minute and is the actual antagonist, like fucking Portrait of Ruin.
Yes, like Portrait. And
Portrait, and
Lament.
Bloodlines, and Lament, yeah.
Yeah.
I did like.
I'm really sad that Ratko didn't get sacrificed to death and they recreate that cutscene from Lament. Exactly.
You betrayed me!
God.
I'm glad we got another shitty secondary vampire before they made him like the big thing. But I was like, yes, it's another Godbrand from season 2.
God, Guybrand is so lame.
Godbrand was I could
so
barely
great.
remember. Godbrand sucked so bad it was 1, pissing himself from Dracula looking at him, 2, getting owned by Isaac.
I
Yeah, I
appreciate
know. I love that guy.
I appreciate Godbrand's performance, but so much of Godbrand's scenes are wrapped around the no budget dimension where most scenes he's in, they show people talking but don't even have a sound effect for it because they can't afford actors for anyone.
Yeah.
That's not Godbrand's fault.
But his scenes are couched in that, and it's always really hard to enjoy Godbrand in the room of vampires that have no voices.
And one of them was actually important enough to get a whole arc in season 3 about.
Yes.
Yeah, I really appreciate secondary vampires in this that you just go, you suck. You're gonna get fucked up so bad. So I was like, oh, this guy's gonna get it. And the payoff of it was insane.
Yeah.
I really like the plan that was, shove Lisa and Dracula into the same body just because that'll drive him crazy.
Yes, no, Varney just being like, he'll drive him absolutely fucking insane.
They'll go fucking mental.
I'm like, this is such a good season.
And then it starts to work.
Yes. What a great strategy.
Yeah, they also have a better version of the rune shit from the previous season of, I'm just going to occasionally put some rocks in here and it'll pay off incredibly fast.
Yeah, no one will find it and just not do anything about it. It's weird. It makes sense.
I do like the part where Alucard finds Saint Germain doing the evil shit and goes, well, there's so many problems. I'm just going to go downstairs. You have fun doing this up here.
I really hope they put this out on Blu-ray because I bought the rest of the series on Blu-ray.
Yeah,
and it would really suck if I owned all of the lesser seasons and not this one.
Yeah, no, it'd be crazy not to put out the final season on Blu-ray when they did the rest.
The huge difference in quality between season 3 and season 4. I spent most of season 3 going, you never intended for people to see this above Netflix quality, did you? Whereas this looked really good, and I don't doubt that on Blu-ray it looks perfectly fine. I would really appreciate that. I never know. Netflix is such a black box when it comes to their motives and ideas. Like,
it seems like it's on like a year delay, where it's like, it's a year, and then Viz will fucking pay however much money to license it out for Blu-ray.
Yeah, hopefully Netflix sticks to that. They don't get weird. But
that would be swell. It'd be I'll get somebody if it's like, here it is, we're bringing it over. Here's the new voice cast.
People you can understand, and I'm like, this isn't the same show.
Yeah, I'm like, no.
I'd be up for it. I feel like most of them could be replaced, and I would not mind because I could then understand them.
Sifa's great.
Yeah, Sifa's great. She's like, I feel like she's got to be a real voice actor, and I'm not sure if the rest are, if they're just regular, traditionally trained actors.
I have no idea, but Count Saint Germain's mic is really bad in the first episode. That's all about him.
Yes.
And it's a shame because I feel like either I got really used to it or it got better. And I feel like it got better as the episodes went on. But that first episode, that is about him, his mic quality is nowhere near Death's. His mic quality is nowhere near anyone else's. He sounds like
he sounds like he's talking through his jacket like this, and it's just like,
yeah, I gotta watch it again
Hey,
because
how's it go?
I didn't notice.
Hey Bob, how's it going? Is everything all right?
I can't really hear you, Jermaine. Can you get a little closer to the microphone?
I have a pad of cloth in my mouth.
Well, can you fix that?
No.
Oh well,
Imagine him ordering drive-through. Good luck with that shit. It's just like,
Yes, I would like a number 3.
and he's got the radio filter on top of it, and the person's just like, this job isn't worth it.
He didn't master the infinite corridor, so he couldn't sound good yet.
The only way it could have been funnier if he was clipping his mic like that one Bleach character.
yeah, I know. And I was thinking, it's like, is it going to be every fucking anime podcast?
He opens the portal to the infinite corridor, and there's a fucking
Someone with a gamer headset.
SM70 mic.
Yes, that's when he gets it.
Finally.
He had to go there to get his SM7B mic. Yeah, I was gonna say, it's Jermaine's entire plan is insanely bad, and it's very funny. That he's just like, I got a taste of that Sonia Belmont, and now I need it so bad, I'm just gonna kill everyone.
Yeah, it's kind of pathetic.
Yeah, it's really funny just thinking about the previous season of just like, all right, he's sneaking around, trying to figure things out, you know. Oh, I get some of his backstory here. He thinks reviving Dracula is the dumbest thing in the world, and he's basically forced by his own cock to be the dumbest character in the world. And then he has that line of, I'm gonna have sex at the end of this. I'm like, what are you doing?
Yeah, that was insane. That one line was just the most insane, really.
That part,
Yeah.
I was like, I don't know if I'm 100% on you, but that line made me go, okay, you're terrible. You are a 10.
I'm trying to remember. Yeah, I was going to say that there is a specific Belmont that I don't think is Sonia Belmont that she reminds me of visually. Like, it might just be traditional Trevor or something. But her outfit looking so much like that, I'm like, is that really a Belmont? Can we talk about? Can you?
No,
Can
we
you?
can't tell you.
Can she have a
can't tell you
voice?
anything.
Can she have a voice,
No.
please?
No.
God damn it! Someone on the staff's like, well, she doesn't have a voice to represent how her memory in his mind is fleeting, and he's losing part of what made her. And I'm like, nothing to do with the budget. And they're like, nothing to do with the budget. Thank
No.
you for asking.
Yeah, I don't know why the audio production in this show is always so like below par. Like it doesn't. There are very few like cartoons or animes I watch too where I'm like, man,
Like
the audio production,
mixing.
the mixing, and all the sound effects are really, really weak.
It's
super
pretty
stands
funny.
out.
It's funny because like you could tell season 4's budget went way up. But still, anytime there are kids on screen, you hear the same stock kid sound effect all throughout this season and once in last season, I think.
Yeah,
And
that's the Kid Down Gig mix.
I'm really tired of this. This isn't half in the bag. You need to stop abusing these stock sound effects. It does the piano intro, and it's like, do you believe they don't know who I am? Yes, Varney, no one knows who you are. Shut up, Jay.
I'm so happy I don't have to talk to Varney anymore. And I can just fight things.
It was. I feel like it should have had another like bloody tears moment, like where they cut in the real Castlevania track like that. When they used the intro for the show, it should have been something like that, where it's like, hey, let's get a really good theme song.
Yeah, that's definitely what season 2 did, and I thought it was a little weird that they didn't do that in this one. I'm not gonna say like it annoyed me that they didn't do that. I was more just confounded because I don't think the intro song's very good.
Yeah, no, that intro song does not work for action. Like it's a weird, deep melodic thing that seems like it's for some sort of serious moment. Like you talk to a montage of some stuff happening that looks serious. You don't cut it to action.
Yeah, I mean it's a dramatic sort of like serious intro montage thing, kind of like other Netflix shows have had in the past.
Yeah,
so
it is like that, isn't it?
sticking it as a battle theme was a little weird, but you know,
Yeah,
I wasn't sitting here being like, here's a list of Castlevania songs I should have heard. Flipping page sound.
Right, but I feel like the only
carry
reason
you into the squad car.
the only reason I thought that is because they used that song. It's like,
Yeah.
maybe you should have commissioned something. Maybe.
Yeah, I get that. It was funny because whenever I finished watching this season, right?
Mhm.
It was like, season over. Would you like to watch this other show? What was it? Blood of Zeus?
I think so, yeah.
It's like, watch this other show from Powerhouse. And I'm like, you literally have no idea what to recommend than another thing by this animation studio. Like, Netflix doesn't have anything else that leaps to mind. They're just like, they made this other thing. Please watch it. Thank you.
They did, in fact, make
Yeah,
it.
I mean, they have to recommend you something that they made. Or they have to recommend you something Netflix made. So,
Yes.
you're already limited.
Yes. Hey, Dan, how do you feel about them bringing back the best character from season 3?
Who do you think that is?
The PlayStation 1 FMV that's called Hell.
Jesus.
Because
I-
I loved it in season 3 because it looks bad and insane. And they brought it back here, and I was like, yeah, there it is.
I completely lost it. They cut out the worst looking parts, though, thank God.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. They took away the soul.
The part where season 3 played that video twice is insane.
And it's like 3 minutes long or something.
Yeah, it's like, man, season 3's got some padding on it.
We gotta let you know that he's really, really in hell. Like, really deep.
And he's at this one spot, and he's just going to look at the camera confused like you shoved a GoPro on a stick into his bedroom. Like, what the fuck is that?
It's like you go up to someone and just put a camera on, like, hey. You're like, huh?
Yes, that's how he looked. I don't know why, but
They nailed it.
they nailed that expression.
Jesus, that flies through, man. Every time I see it,
So
I think
good.
it's like PS1 Symphony of Night graphics plus. So it's just a little bit above those CGs from Symphony of the Night.
Yeah, there are some moments, especially in season 3, I feel that I just look at the 3D environments and go, PS2 cutscenes kind of looked better. That's a shame. But, luckily they just used that one video this time, and most of season 4 is fine. I don't think season 4 has any major problems.
It's been a while since I watched, each season as it aired. So for a moment, I forgot that Castlevania does that thing because it's on Netflix, where episodes just end.
Yeah.
Yes.
They're just like, the episode's over now. It's been 24 minutes.
Go.
Where it's just, yeah.
I
Where it
feel
kinda
like,
just-
strangely, these were actually more conclusive than season 3 episodes.
Yes.
Because we watched season 3 like back to back with this.
Yeah.
And that had some serious, oh, it's over now.
Well, yes.
Yes.
When things happen, they can conclude.
Yes, things
Yes.
happened this season.
Things did, in fact, happen.
This season has good structure per episode even. Season 3, somebody goes, you gonna eat those fries? And then the episode ends and it's like, but that wasn't like a metaphor. That just seemed random.
But I need to figure out whether or not they're going to eat the fries, Dan. It's got a hook in there for me.
You're gonna have to tune in next time to find out.
Okay, which is happening now because they're like, we're going to skip the intro. This is already the shortened version of our intro, so I really don't know the point.
Yeah, the intro shortened down to 15 seconds. It's that way on the Blu-rays too. I thought that was really weird watching
What?
season 3.
Yeah.
I was
That's
like,
ridiculous.
I like the intro to season 1. I think it looks rather
Yeah.
nice. I think that music fits it, and I was a little
like the,
sad when
like,
season 3
line
doesn't
work.
have it. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I like the line work stuff they do, which they give Sypha a really good shot of that of setting people on fire,
Yes.
where she goes sicko mode. Man, she goes in real hard in this season.
Yep.
They do not shortchange, I feel like, anyone on action stuff that looks cool.
Yeah, I'm just really glad that Trevor gets his, because like
Yeah.
Alucard and Sypha have always been so powerful.
Yeah, I think it's really funny that for the final battle here, Alucard and Sypha can both fly, and there's like, no, whatever. They leave Trevor
We're
flying
drifting
off
apart.
on the thing.
Goodbye.
It's like,
Every time Sifa flies, I laugh because it's just because the fire jets are so funny.
Yes,
Yes.
It gets me too.
Yeah,
it is.
absolutely. But Bob, here's the thing. Here's why they didn't try to get over, okay?
okay.
They knew this was a PS2 video game and there was an invisible wall between the two.
Oh, yeah.
And they would have slammed into it and just fallen.
That makes sense.
Yes.
Yeah, there's a current around it with wind and spinning CG rocks.
Also, then they
Might get
might
hit
have
by
to
one
talk
of
to Varney.
Oh yeah, nobody wants to do that.
Nobody wants to talk to Varn.
Literally nobody.
So something about that the final fight he has with Des kind of gave me Moondis vibes. I don't know. I guess just the arena being this weird big circle. He has like a floating platform to fight him on.
Yeah.
So I was just like,
Yes.
does Trevor have to do a flying airship combat sequence to get here?
Bob, that's literally Lament of Innocence.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, how was
yeah. But you know, the Devil May Cry 1 had a fancier looking version of the same thing.
Yeah.
Does what Trevor does to kill Death count as Grand Cross? Because I say yes.
I didn't really get that feel.
Because it has like the cross flare, and then the section of the castle fucking collapses, like
Julius's bullshit.
Arya.
Yeah.
Like Julius's bullshit, which is the coolest moment of Arya.
Yes. I don't know. I'm not going to qualify it, but I will count Greta from Dynasty as a Grant Dynasty reference.
Which is funny because that means there's two, because they mention him for one sentence in season 3.
Talking about the guy dragging around the boat?
Yeah.
Because I think they even mentioned that again this season. Just as in a one-off line.
They probably do to like draw attention that she's supposed to be Grant.
But yeah, I don't think there's reference to her doing that. So I don't know if that's just some other thing that's happening. I was really expecting a better payoff for that.
I was expecting a we saved Targovishta, but no.
Yeah, I thought there would be something that wrap-up episode about Tarkovishta.
Yeah.
But I guess look,
you can't
Sifa
fix that shit over there.
Sifa already did enough, okay? She taught the townspeople for like a day.
She trained them on not keeping your food where you should.
Yes.
They're fine.
She made all the difference in the world.
Who knows? Maybe they'll go there later. They just didn't have time because they were, setting up their Alucard town.
I'm pretty sure the last thing any of them want to fucking do is walk out of Treffy, which is the name of the town. Alucard at the end, he's just like, I thought I'd name the town Treffy. Just to fuck with him.
I'd rather just die.
He's like, please, someone kill me.
He's like, don't name our baby this, please. I'm back.
Every time they did that joke about the baby name, I was like, was it going to be Ralph at some point? Because that would have been pretty funny.
But then only you and me would have gotten it. And then everyone else is like, Ralph's not that bad of a name.
No, it is.
I mean, I think so, but...
Yeah, Ralph is a pretty classy name.
Sorry to all the Ralphs listening.
Right.
Your name's
I'm
kind of bad.
sorry,
It's
Ralph.
kind of bad.
Is Ralph short for anything? Is there anything you can save yourself with?
Yes, it's Ralphinold.
I was like, maybe it's Ruffalo. I don't know.
Rudolph. It's short for Rudolph. So if your name's Ralph, just use Rudolph.
No, that's
Fucking
worse.
the Incredible Hulk, fucking Mark Ralph.
Yes,
Yeah.
Mark Ralph.
No, it is not, Dan. Ralph is a name that comes from a trailer park. Rudolph is not.
Rudolph sounds like you're unhinged.
Yeah.
It's better to be unhinged than Ralph.
Important conversations.
It depends on the situation.
the scene we have with that character from that town, Zamfir, is just like, they're like, you're insane. It's like, yeah, but what's the problem with that?
Yeah, I really appreciate the first fight scene Zamfir shows up in with 2 other people, and the other people have kind of done designs, so you expect them to survive the fight at all, and they just get decimated immediately. And I was like, holy shit.
It's like, no, they just had fun drawing it.
But then I was like, as the first one dies, I'm like, holy shit, well, she's gonna survive because her hair's fancy.
Yeah.
That was the thing I held on to. And she did. So there you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, there's so much good stuff in this season. I don't know, though. Is there anything you guys wanted to talk about specifically before we wrap up this hour-longish spoiler cast?
I want to talk about that part where Jermaine is walking with them in the forest and they're being attacked by monsters. Like they're guiding out Alucard's
Yep.
flight.
Yeah.
And he's just talking about the evil plan.
Yes.
Like it's no big deal.
Yes, like Alucard's not going to hear that shit.
His mic's so bad no one noticed.
Yeah, it's sure a good thing that this half vampire doesn't have good hearing.
Yes.
Luckily, Alucard
Whatever.
can't understand me.
I'm willing to just be like, they just didn't want to put like a filter on it to imply it's in his head.
But it's also funny because isn't that the exact same scene that they talk shit to him and he's like, I'm still close enough to hear you.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, so it's
insane.
It's really dumb, but it's fine. It's not like world breaking or anything. It's just funny.
I'm sorry I haven't bathed. I had to fight your chickens for pond water and lost.
It's like, yeah, of course you'd fucking lose.
I really appreciate the hierarchy of vampires and how they're just like, look, we just want Dracula back. None of us want to work with you, Varney.
I'm surprised how many vampires are in this universe. I feel like there
were shitloads in season 2.
There were.
Yeah, I
They
guess
just didn't talk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
it makes sense to me because even in Castlevania lore, like in Symphony of the Night, Shaft brainwashes Richter because the Belmonts can beat any other vampire hunter. So it's like, as long as we have him, none of those motherfuckers can do shit.
So the one question I have, because I haven't looked it up since, is the town in Order of Ecclesia this town? Is that supposed to be Belmont? Because obviously, over a long enough timeline, most of the people in this town would be descendants.
Yeah, no, I kind of get that feel of it. Maybe they're going for that, but it could be something else because, you know, that wouldn't actually happen until after Richter.
Yes, that would be a while out.
Yeah.
Obviously, this doesn't plug into the timeline neatly.
No. I was trying to think, Simon is before Trevor, right? Or is he after?
Trevor should
Simon's
be before.
after.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
Trevor. See, they did that thing, that classic thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
You do 1 and 2 with Simon, and then they're like, well, we need a third one. It should be before Simon. And then they did a fourth one, and they were like, it's Simon again.
I don't think there's like a Belmont between Leon and Trevor. Like I think it goes Leon and then all immediately to Trevor.
Yeah, I think that's right. Because
Right.
Sonya's supposed to somehow be... But Sonya's not involved.
Yeah,
we're
Sonya's
not
not
even
real.
We're just going to ignore that. Sonya's not real. She can't hurt you.
Yeah, right.
I just really like the concept that person that Count Saint Germain is interested in might be Sonya because that's time travel through the Infinite Corridor with Sonya Belmont. Thus, it's the canceled Dreamcast game.
Oh, God, it is.
I was like, oh, that's hot damn.
It's really funny this Infinite Corridor can do time travel, but it always seems to jump people out like 5 minutes later.
Yeah, it does seem to keep doing that.
Look, I'd rather that happen than the stinger for this season being Trevor waking up in Castlevania City.
I thought they were doing that for one shot.
Oh, that would be real bad.
They
like,
do
oh,
this.
no.
They do that. He wakes up and fucking meets Soma.
I would love them to get to Soma in this eventually.
Yeah, that would be cool. It'd be really cool if they did that. They actually made comments about what they would do for season 5, but I didn't go read it because I was like, that might contain season 4 spoilers, so no thanks, I'm good.
Right.
Yeah, I try to avoid like what we could do on the off chance in anything.
Mm-hmm.
On the off chance that something happens with anything, I was like, maybe they might pick that up in some way.
Yeah, I get the feeling that like we're basically going to go to season 5, but it'll have like a subtitle and be called a spinoff.
Yeah, that's pretty much what they said when season 4 was announced, where it's like, this is the final season, but they're shopping around doing new series with different stuff, and also doesn't have the writer that's been deleted from history.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, what I wondered a lot watching this is like they seem to almost do the Rise of Skywalker thing, where it's like, no, fuck you, that didn't matter. We're walking that back, and I'm like, is it cause Warren Ellis got deleted? Is this why some of the cursing gets into James Rolfe-esque because it's like someone trying to do Ellis cursing?
See, that's
I just think Warren Ellis is an idiot and is like, yeah, make him curse more.
I assume it's that because the beginning of every episode still credits Ellis as the writer.
Yeah, him being front and center like that was kind of unexpected. I thought they did.
Yeah, that was weird.
Yeah, that was really weird. I expected him to not be involved in
Yeah, they're like, Castlevania created by written by. Didn't direct, but
Yeah.
that's still a lot.
Yeah, I was surprised.
They're like, it was he sent this beforehand, so it doesn't count. No.
Yeah, because these scripts might even be still around from a decade plus ago. They were working on this.
2007. It was like
Jesus.
2007 they were working on this.
I mean-
and he posted about it on his personal website when it didn't include when it seemed like it would never happen. And that's how people found out like Grant isn't in because Warren Ellis thought it was stupid because he said it like in that.
Oh, okay.
Like his literal explanation is he's a fucking pirate captain. Why is he in Transylvania? You know what they should do next though?
Huh.
They should do Juice Day Belmont so they can keep doing cool ice constructs with magic.
Juice Day would be great. Just because then we get Maxim Kashine.
I don't know if the world's ready for
Somehow
Maxim.
his animation looks as bad as the sprite.
No.
Hey, we go to the no plot happening dungeon for a season, but it's Juice Day lost in the castle. He's like, where the fuck do I go now? Maybe the key's here in the other dimension?
The castle in this series being like a construct of science instead of a mystical being is a little weird. So I wonder if they would do something like that later of like, oh yeah, then something happened and Dracula's castle became cursed. We tried to turn on the warp engine again and it just all went bad.
And then it tapped into the powers of hell.
Yes.
I feel like the obvious pull is to like have it somehow fuse to the Infinite Corridor.
Yeah.
The Infinite Corridor's only in fucking Curse of Darkness, right? No other game mentions that thing.
Yes, I think that's correct. I can't remember any other mentioning it.
Like, okay, his castle fused to it.
I liked just everything how they cap off a lot of things with the lady vampire section of the story where Carmilla dies and it blows up an entire like tower, that castle.
Yeah, she's got Chaosu powers.
Yeah, and then fucking Striga and the other one fucking roll up and go, oh fuck.
Oh, she's
Well,
dead.
I guess we can leave then.
We didn't really want to be involved with this anyway.
Lenore is probably dead already.
I know,
That
that
was
was
the
Like,
funniest
this is a great
thing.
opportunity for us to leave this show.
And the utter disrespect of, well, if Carmilla's dead, Lenore's obviously already dead.
Which, honestly, fair, because that was the other thing I wanted to point out of just, you have Isaac go, none of you fuck with Hector. He's mine. And then he rolls up, and I'm like, oh, you're not gonna kill him at all. And
I really
somehow-
liked that scene. I really
Yeah.
like Isaac fucking rules.
Yeah, he does. On top of just Hector going, I've created this energy cage around you. Don't hurt her. She's fine. Except for that one time she broke a few of my bones. But other than that, she's fine.
Yeah. Also, I like that part where Hector gets cucked by the sun.
Yeah, I was about to say, she's like, well, there's nothing else for me to do. I guess I'll just kill myself. I don't bottom in this. I'm leaving.
It's like I can't even just stick around until you guys die.
Nope.
Yeah, that felt to me like a little bit like, we don't want to have people asking where Lenore is if we do some future season. Just have her melt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I kind of like this. I don't want anyone having direct power over me, so I will just choose to die.
Yeah, that was neat. It was believable enough. It just came
Yeah.
off to me as a little bit like, we are tying up all these threads. We will not have any threads.
It's like, watch us tie up these threads. Then they make a monkey's fist and just beat her to death with it.
They're like, we're going to tie up all these threads. Also, we'll give Dracula a happy ending.
It was great. He
Hey,
earned
Dracula,
it.
number one thing about this series is Dracula did nothing wrong. Even when they killed his wife, he was just like, leave. Get the fuck out, humans. Get out of my country.
Well-
and then they're like, you're not real. Fuck you, Dracula. To the giant fire face.
I mean, to be fair, season 2 is Dracula trying to kill all of humanity and
Yeah.
doing roving packs of vampires raiding villages.
He wasn't. He didn't mean it. He was just upset.
He didn't
Also,
mean
fuck
it.
them. They all deserve it.
He didn't
Oh,
mean
whatever,
it.
whatever. It's the same. It's the same shit as Carmel. Like, I want to take over the world now because some guys fucked with me when I was younger, so I want everything.
Yes.
Yeah,
There's,
but Dracula's just sad. He's like, oh no, whatever.
yeah. Well, the problem is, in trying to figure that out, there's a huge divide between what Dracula said to be doing that season and what you see him do that season. Where it's just like, Dracula's running all of the vampires across the countryside to kill all these villages. We'll now show shots of that. And it's like, let's go see Dracula managing this war council. And he's just sitting in a recliner, depressed and fat.
He's like,
Yes.
I will defer this to Isaac.
My brightest disciple.
I'm kind of surprised we never got a priest in any of these seasons, really, because they mention like holy stuff in the first season, and I feel like they don't really at all in any of the others. Like even this season downplays it with Trevor being like, yeah, crosses don't actually do anything to vampires. It just screws up their brain because they have like alien predator brains.
Yes,
That was shove a cross in their face. It scares the shit out of them.
yeah, the geometry being shoved into their field of vision extremely closely. I was like, this is hilarious. How insane.
They still talk about how holy water works, though, and they
Yeah, and then
it.
season one has like the night creatures shitting on the priest before they kill him.
Oh, that was really
like,
good. That was a really good scene.
They're like, God isn't helping you because you're a fucking monster.
And he's like, what? It's okay. I love you. Come here. I'll give you a kiss.
Mwah. Isn't there a scene in this season where they're just like, yeah, we killed every priest here?
Yes, in
We-
Targovishta. They killed every
Yeah.
priest in Targovishta. It was pretty great. It was like,
They're
yeah,
like,
I'd do
yeah.
that too. That's how you fired people back in the day.
I guess.
Yeah, you fucking caused this Dracula problem? Okay, you're all fired.
God. Yeah, this season was really great in that I was thoroughly enjoying it. You hit the end of episode 5 of 10, where it's like, oh no, they're just going to invade that castle now. And I'm like, wow.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be payoff after payoff for half of the entire show. I'm like, this is what I want for a final season where it's supposed to be payoffs. It's like, they're just going.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it was excellent. It was absurdly good. I did not in any way expect a season this good here.
Yeah, after two
Yeah.
seasons of meandering boring, I would never expect this. It makes no sense.
I mean, we talked about how much the intro the first episode has so many fight scenes, and you just assume, okay, they're front loading the money. And then every episode has a good action sequence, at least one, probably two. And it's like really good. But yeah, I was really happy with this season. Okay, well, it's about time we wrap this up, and we're going to use the Eurogamer scale of review scores of the top score being essential, middle score being recommended, and the bottom score being avoid. So
This was in Europe.
it was, it's a European placed show made elsewhere, but but we're gonna that's the score we're gonna use. So that's once again essential, recommended, and avoid. Hey Bob,
we may never do this again.
we're never gonna do this again. Bob, would you
Never.
make a closing statement and give it one of these three?
I think this is the show that I've wanted like the whole time they've been doing the Castlevania show.
Mm-hmm.
So I definitely, if you've endured the rest of the show, this is essential.
Yeah.
Essential. Watch it.
Yeah.
Finish the fight. There's actually good stuff at this one. Otherwise, it's only recommended because you need to burn through the rest to get here.
Okay. We'll go to Mr. Feel next.
I'm gonna give it recommended because if you haven't watched any of this, like I can't say essential. Go watch the first 3 seasons to watch this. But if you've already watched them, yeah, absolutely, this is great.
See, this is the problem I run into with the 5th Resident Evil film is that it's like, you got to dig through at least 3 of the others to get here, and I'm not sure I'm ready to recommend that to any human. But man, is that 5th one good. We're going to go to KZ next.
I'd say this is essential. I think the entire season was fantastic, following up the other good seasons that are great for people that have any level of patience. Great time.
If you like watching your time literally burn on screen, yeah.
I'm sorry, but I don't need payoffs every 5 minutes, you know?
Forever. So you said this is essential?
Of course. Absolutely essential. A good payoff to a build-up season.
2 build-up seasons in a row. One that's kind of had a stopgap in it, and then another build-up after that.
No, the second season is a payoff to the build-up season of season 1.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
I'm going to go ahead and say Castlevania Netflix Season 4 is essential. It's great viewing material. You definitely will appreciate it a bit more if you watch Season 3 or 2 or 1. But I'm not really going to recommend those because out of the 3 of those, I really only like Season 1. And
Which
like
is 4 episodes.
And then like 2 or 3 episodes from Season 2. But, you know, Season 4, excellent stuff. Definitely essential viewing right here. I hope they go and make more things. And Bob, you're the luckiest motherfucker in the world that they tested their whole process out on Castlevania, and now they get to go make fucking Devil May Cry.
Yeah, hopefully that
That's true.
stays consistent. I'm worried it's just going to go right back to the bottom.
I'm gonna be.
God, what if it's like the Castlevania anime where it's just a bunch of really bad one-offs first?
I'm just gonna be pissed until the moment they go, okay, we're done with Devil May Cry. We're now doing Mega Man X, and I'm gonna be like, oh shit.
I'm losing my mind at the idea of just another Castlevania or another Devil May Cry anime.
That's just a bunch
somehow that's worse than the last one.
I know.
Except that one at least had a good episode where there was gambling.
No, it didn't.
It's almost impossible to make it a season as bad as that.
Even if everything else was the same, at least I could rest comfortably knowing the character designs would be better than nothing character designs in the Devil May Cry anime.
Yes.
Like we're Sparta's apprentices. We look like nothing.
But they play poker once. That was a good episode.
God damn. Anyways, thank you all for listening to this spoiler cast of Castlevania Netflix Season 4. We have a billion other podcasts on this network, so either sign up for the podcast RSS feed, check out the other videos here on GigaBoots, or, become a patron and get lots of, like, an insane treasure trove of content that's available over there. We'll see you next time. Bye. I stole Bob's bit.
Yeah.
Hell
yeah, I'm hitting stop.
Yeah.
Saying bye is a good way to end the podcast, right?
Yes, especially when it's bye.